Pantheon Wars are large-scale guild events that are important in the life of each Pantheon. These events are designed to give each Pantheon the opportunity to show off their power.
Pantheons. These are our equivalent of guilds, a familiar concept for MMO players.
Any Pantheon can participate in these wars. The only requirement is that you have recruited 100 young gods. These are experienced players who have unlocked their god forms. Players will participate in these battles to fight for the title of the greatest Pantheon in all of Aeolon. Our single server architecture allows us to put all the Pantheons from a single territory into competition with one another to see who's the greatest. We wanted these Pantheon versus Pantheon battles to be epic. This is high-end content for dedicated players, and we wanted the setting to match the importance. We discussed our ideas with Cecil Kim, the visual development director on God of War 3, and asked him to prepare a few concepts. Since ancient times, these heavenly temples have been scattered around Aeolon, reminders of the time before Ael's era, symbols of the ancient powers that once ruled this world. To this day, these temples still contain objects and relics of unimaginable power. And it's controlling these temples and unlocking their secrets that's the goal of many gods and immortals on Aeolon. And it's fighting for control of these temples that the Pantheons wage war.
A heavenly temple is a complex architectural structure, a huge building in the center surrounded by fortified walls. Giant bridges approach it from all two sides, and the only way in is blocked by ancient gate. Pantheons start to fight for control of the heavenly temples on Saturday evening. They decide who will seize which temple, and every line in an auction is for one such temple. 2 hours are allocated for auctions, during which Pantheons are paired, deciding who will fight with who. This decision is exclusively based on bids made by the Pantheons, and the sum prestige of the Pantheons is not taken into account. If the auction is not happening in the first week, each temple probably has an owner, just as it was in Allods Online. The owner obtains a reward from their temple, but they can also try to steal another temple, therefore increasing their weekly reward. Once the auctions are finished, the battle for the heavenly temples takes place through the rest of the week. In the Battle of the Pantheons, we divide the entire complex into PvE and PvP maps. 100 people from each Pantheon, which we divide equally between PvP and PvE players, take part in the battle. PvE players are divided into 5 raids of 10 people, and depending on whether you are defending your temple or attacking another one, the map topology and gameplay will change.
Initially, 50 PvP players are divided into 3 maps with different types of gameplay. 15 versus 15 control points, 10 v 10 capture the flag, and 25 v 25 king of the hill.
For example, in the Battle for the Gate map, we have something similar to flag capture, but it's not the flag capture we're used to in other games. We have divided it into 2 parts. The first phase involves players attempting to steal energy crystals from the enemy base and bringing them to the center of the map. In the center, there is an ancient artifact that can turn the energy crystals into a key. The second phase involves taking the key to the gates and opening one of 3 locks. After all 3 are unlocked, you can then get into the center of the temple. The first team to do this is the winner, and the losers are not allowed inside the gates.
The Battle at the Gates is only one of 4 PvP challenges players will face. In addition, there are a number of PvE activities. To claim victory in the Pantheon Wars, players will need to get wins in both PvE and PvP activities.
Players have 2 hours, and all events take place in parallel, with the exception of the final battle. Only the 30 best PvP players from each Pantheon take part in the final battle.
The final PvP battle is the culmination of the Battle of the Pantheons. The strongest players from each Pantheon will participate in this challenge.
The main feature of the final battle is the active use of god forms. You do not need to use the faith of your followers to transform into their god form. Where necessary, it can be activated for any player without using any resources.
Control of the heavenly temples is not just for the bragging rights of your Pantheon, but for the rewards which they provide. Things like custom mounts, improvements to your progression in the Ascension Atlas, and unique status costumes.
Atlas improvement will enable you to improve stat peaks, so that you will get not plus 10, but plus 15, 20, or even 25 might. Outfits that you can receive for taking control of a heavenly temple will give a serious boost to strength. And right now, Pantheon battles are the only place where you can get them.
Players will have temporary access to the unique mounts and status costumes. The reason this access is temporary is because we plan to make seasons, and between each season, we'll create new rewards or improve the rewards from the previous seasons. This was just a quick overview of one of the high-end content types in Skyforge. In addition to Pantheon Wars, players will be able to look forward to raids, invasions, and a number of other systems we'll talk about in future dev diaries. Stay tuned, follow our news updates, or follow us on your favorite social channel, and we look forward to seeing you in-game.